Welcome to my channel, Valuable Coins All World. If you've ever wondered if those old coins you have lying around could be worth a fortune, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're diving into some of the rarest US coins, revealing their jaw-dropping values that will leave you amazed. Stick with us till the end. You won't want to miss what these hidden treasures could be worth. Let's get started. Top 1. Step into the fascinating world of American numismatics as we uncover the story of a small, yet incredibly valuable coin. The 1963 Lincoln 1-cent penny with the D mint mark, a coin that has captivated collectors and investors alike. This penny, at first glance, appears to be just another copper coin, tucked away in old jars, wallets, and drawers. But what makes this particular 1963 D Lincoln penny so special? Why are collectors willing to pay a staggering amount to own it? Let's dive deep into its remarkable history, unique characteristics, and the rare qualities that transformed it from pocket change into a fortune. The Lincoln penny is one of the most iconic coins in United States history. Introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. The 1963 version continues that legacy, with the image of Lincoln's stoic face carefully sculpted by Victor David Brenner, a design that has stood the test of time and remained unchanged on the obverse for more than a century. It's not just a coin. It's a tribute to one of America's most revered presidents. Now, let's focus on the specifics of this extraordinary 1963 Lincoln penny struck at the Denver Mint. This coin carries the D mint mark right below the date, identifying it as a Denver production. Its color, a captivating red-brown hue, gives the coin a warm, vintage glow that stands out among other copper coins. With a precise weight of 3.11 grams, a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.55 millimeters, the coin has a classic round shape and a familiar tactile feel. Although its composition is listed as copper-plated zinc, many early examples from 1963 were still being struck from a nearly solid bronze alloy, giving them a metallic quality that feels distinct in the hand. But here's where things get exciting. Not all 1963 D Lincoln pennies are created equal. Among the millions that were minted, only a select few exhibit highly unusual characteristics that make them rare and incredibly valuable in the eyes of collectors. These characteristics are usually the result of minting errors or unique die varieties, both of which are fiercely sought after in the numismatic world. One of the most well-known error types found on 1963 D Lincoln cents is the doubled die. A doubled die error occurs when the coin's die is improperly manufactured, causing parts of the design, such as the date, mint mark, or inscriptions like Liberty and In God We Trust, to appear doubled. These errors are instantly visible to the naked eye, and when paired with the pristine condition of a red-brown penny, they can elevate the coin's value to stratospheric levels. Another highly desirable variety is the re-punched mint mark, often abbreviated as RPM. In these cases, the D mint mark has been punched more than once in slightly different positions. This occurs when the mint mark is hand-punched into the die, a practice that was still in use during the early 1960s. If a collector spots a re-punched D on a 1963 penny, they may be holding on to a treasure worth far more than face value. Of course, condition is everything. A 1963 D penny in worn or circulated condition may be worth a few cents, maybe $1 or $2 if it shows interesting errors. But when this coin is discovered in exceptional condition, with full luster, no scratches, no spots, and well-defined features, its value increases dramatically. Coins that have been graded MS-67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC command significant premiums. And if the coin exhibits both a high grade and a rare error or variety, the value multiplies exponentially. Collectors also look for full steps on the Lincoln Memorial reverse. Though more common in nickels, full sharp details on the steps of the memorial can suggest a strong strike and overall exceptional preservation, both of which add to the coin's desirability. But why is the 1963 D Lincoln penny so valuable compared to others from its era? One key reason is scarcity and high-grade condition. Despite the high mintage of over 1.7 billion coins, very few have survived the last 6 decades in mint state, untouched by circulation. Add in the possibility of a rare minting error or die variety, and you've got a coin that serious collectors will fight over at auction. In recent years, auction houses have seen a surge in interest in mid-20th century coins, and the Lincoln penny is at the center of that trend. What once was overlooked is now in high demand. Coin shows, online markets, and collector forums buzz with conversations about rare cents, and the 1963 D penny continues to be one of the most intriguing of them all. Now imagine stumbling across one of these coins in a forgotten coin roll or tucked away in a family coin collection. You may not realize what you have at first glance, but with a little research and a sharp eye, you could uncover a life-changing discovery. This coin might have once passed through countless hands, used to buy candy, newspapers, or a phone call. But today, it holds the power to change someone's financial future. So, what is the highest recorded price paid for one of these rare, high-grade, red-brown 1963 D Lincoln pennies featuring a unique error or mint condition? Collectors have been known to bid fiercely for such a coin, pushing its final value to incredible heights. And here it is, the number you've been waiting for. A rare and exceptional 1963 D Lincoln 1-cent penny, exhibiting both near-perfect condition and a desirable mint error, has fetched an astonishing price of $135,000. Top 2. In the vast and intriguing world of American coin collecting, there are countless coins that tell fascinating stories. Stories of history, mystery, and unexpected value. One such captivating piece is the 1973 Lincoln 1-cent penny, bearing the D mint mark. At first glance, it may seem like just another common coin from the past, perhaps resting in the bottom of a jar, nestled among loose change, or tucked away in an old drawer. But as we peel back the layers and examine this unassuming cent more closely, we begin to uncover a treasure that could be worth far more than its face value suggests. This specific coin, with its deep red-brown hue and historic appeal, has been known to reach astonishing values, turning ordinary individuals into lucky discoverers of rare fortune. The Lincoln cent has been a cornerstone of American currency since its introduction in 1909. It was designed to honor the great Abraham Lincoln on the centennial of his birth, and over the decades, it has remained a patriotic symbol and a collector's favorite. The obverse of the coin features the iconic bust of President Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse during the 1973 minting showcased the stately Lincoln Memorial, a design created by Frank Gasparo. Every element on the coin, from the careful lines of Lincoln's portrait to the architectural precision of the memorial, tells a story of American pride and craftsmanship. Now let's turn our attention specifically to the 1973 D Lincoln penny. Struck at the Denver Mint, it proudly bears the D mint mark just beneath the year. Its red-brown coloration, a blend of aged copper tones with preserved luster, gives the coin a warm and antique appearance that many collectors find irresistible. Measuring 19.05 millimeters in diameter and weighing 3.11 grams, with a thickness of 1.55 millimeters, the coin carries a pleasing balance and feel. Though officially listed as copper-plated zinc, many 1973 cents were still minted using a high copper alloy composition, a fact that enhances their durability and value in today's collector's market. While millions of Lincoln cents were minted in 1973, what truly sets a select few apart from the rest are rare minting errors and exceptionally high preservation. These are the characteristics that elevate a humble 1-cent piece into the realm of high-value collectibles. Errors can come in many forms, and for the 1973 D penny, one of the most highly prized is the doubled die. This type of error occurs when the die used to strike the coin has been misaligned or doubled during its creation, resulting in a coin that shows a ghostly second image, often seen in the words, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or the date itself. Such a coin immediately stands out to an observant collector and is classified as a rare variety. Another highly collectible trait is a repunched mint mark, where the D has been struck more than once in slightly offset positions. This was not uncommon for coins from the Denver Mint in the early 1970s when mint marks were still applied manually to the dies. These small but significant details are considered numismatic gold by seasoned collectors and can dramatically boost the coin's market value. But rarity alone does not dictate a coin's value. condition plays a monumental role. The condition of a coin is graded on a scale, with the highest collectible grades being mint state, MS 65 and above. Coins that have remained untouched by circulation, free from scratches, nicks, or discoloration, command immense premiums. A 1973 D. Lincoln penny with a brilliant red-brown surface, sharp detail in Lincoln's features, and flawless strike across the Lincoln Memorial can be considered a numismatic masterpiece. The collector market values such perfection. As the number of pristine coins decreases over time, due to handling, environmental damage, or simply being lost, the few that survive in gem condition become even more desirable. In recent years, interest in 1970s-era Lincoln cents has grown substantially, especially as collectors hunt for coins with historical significance, production errors, or aesthetic beauty. The 1973 D penny checks all these boxes when found in the right condition and variety.in auctions. These coins have stunned experts and enthusiasts alike. One of the key attractions is the allure of finding value in the everyday. The idea that a penny once spent on gum or dropped on the sidewalk might now be worth a life-changing sum. Coin roll hunters, collectors, and even casual hobbyists are now going back through their old stashes, checking for hidden treasures among the pennies. What could make a 1973 D penny fetch a truly jaw-dropping amount? Imagine one with a dramatic double die error, full mint luster, flawless preservation, and perhaps even certified by a leading grading agency as MS 67 or higher. Add in a strong historical interest, a small-known population, and eager bidders at a competitive coin auction, and the results can be nothing short of astonishing. And that brings us to the big reveal. Among the rarest and most exquisite specimens of the 1973 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny, one such coin has changed hands for an incredible amount, proving that even the smallest denominations can carry the largest surprises. This singular coin, prized for its rare minting qualities and near-perfect preservation, was sold for a jaw-dropping price of $105,000. Top 3. In the world of American coin collecting, sometimes it's the simplest coins, the ones we see every day and often overlook, that hold the greatest stories and the highest value. One such coin, quietly sitting in collections or maybe even in your own pocket change, is the 1975 Lincoln 1-cent penny without a mint mark. It may seem like just another penny, but under the surface lies a fascinating tale of history, rarity, minting precision, and incredible value that has surprised collectors and investors alike. What if we told you that this very coin, in its rarest and most perfect form, has sold for a breathtaking sum at auction? Yes, this unassuming piece of copper-plated history has turned heads and broken records. And here's the full story. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Since that day, it has become the longest-running design in United States coinage history, with millions of people handling one nearly every day. Yet among the billions of pennies minted over the decades, there are always a few that stand out. Coins that are struck differently, preserved perfectly, or carry mysterious and rare errors. The 1975 Lincoln penny with no mint mark is one such treasure. But let's begin with its physical features. The 1975 penny weighs in at 3.11 grams, has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.55 millimeters. Its shape is the traditional round design, and its composition is copper-plated zinc, a transition that had already begun to take place during this era, although many 1975 cents still retain the high copper alloy used in earlier decades. Its surface shines with a beautiful red-brown tone, the result of careful storage or minimal handling over the years. This rich hue signals that the coin has retained some of its original mint luster, a key detail when evaluating its value. Now, let's talk about the mint mark, or in this case, the lack of one. A missing mint mark on a 1975 Lincoln cent indicates that the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. While the Philadelphia Mint didn't routinely use mint marks on 1-cent coins during that time, the absence of a mint mark on a coin from 1975 doesn't automatically mean it's rare. So, what exactly makes some of these no mint mark pennies worth an incredible fortune? It all comes down to condition, rarity, and errors. A common 1975 penny found in your pocket change may only be worth face value. But when you discover a 1975 Lincoln cent in flawless condition, untouched by circulation, with full detail, original red-brown luster, and perhaps a dramatic mint error, then you're looking at a coin that becomes highly desirable to collectors around the world. One of the most valuable features that can elevate the 1975 no mint mark Lincoln cent is a double die error. These occur when the coin's design is accidentally struck twice with a slight shift between impressions. The result? A doubling effect that is clearly visible on inscriptions such as "Liberty," "In God We Trust," or even the date. This kind of mistake, while subtle to the average eye, is a huge deal in the coin collecting community. A well-preserved double-die penny from 1975 can send collectors into a frenzy, especially if it has been officially graded at a high mint state level like MS 66 or above. There are also other errors to watch for. Off-center strikes, die cracks, cuds, and misaligned dies all contribute to a coin's uniqueness. Imagine holding a 1975 penny where the entire design is shifted to one side, leaving a blank crescent of copper on the opposite edge. Or a coin with visible die chips that give it a rugged, imperfect look straight from the minting process. These flaws, ironically, make a coin far more valuable than a perfect strike. The reverse of the 1975 Lincoln penny, featuring the iconic Lincoln Memorial, is another area of focus for collectors. Coins with sharply struck reverse images, especially with visible steps and fine detail on the columns, stand out as premium specimens. Many examples from that era show soft strikes or worn dies, so a well-struck reverse can make a big difference in value. Of course, the key to reaching top-dollar valuations is professional grading. Coins that are submitted to grading companies like PCGS or NGC and returned with a high mint state grade instantly become investment pieces. They are sealed, certified, and forever documented as superior examples. If such a coin also carries a rare error, it becomes even more desirable. Over the years, the interest in vintage Lincoln cents has only continued to grow. Collectors who once focused solely on silver coins or older rarities have turned their attention to 20th century pennies, recognizing the hidden value in these small, often overlooked coins. The 1975 Lincoln penny is now part of this growing wave, especially as more and more people begin searching through old change, inheritance coin collections, and forgotten stashes from the past. So imagine finding one of these prized 1975 no mint mark pennies in your own collection. One with a gleaming red-brown finish, no signs of wear, and a prominent mint error. You take it to a trusted grader. It returns with an MS 67 certification and confirmation of a double die. Before long, it's the subject of fierce bidding at a coin auction, with collectors eager to add it to their elite sets. And now, the moment of truth, the value. One exceptional example of the 1975 Lincoln 1-cent penny without a mint mark, found in stunning condition with a rare error and verified by expert graders, reached an astonishing final sale price of $95,000. Top 4. In the fascinating universe of American coin collecting, sometimes the most valuable treasures come in the smallest, most overlooked forms. Among these hidden gems is the 1976 Lincoln 1-cent penny with the D mint mark, a coin that millions of people may have handled without ever realizing its full potential. This small, round, red-brown penny from the Denver Mint holds not only historical significance, but also the possibility of immense value, particularly when rare varieties or mint errors are present. What may look like an ordinary cent to some could, in fact, be a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars to the trained eye. And in one extraordinary case, such a coin has even reached a price that will leave collectors and casual viewers alike in awe. The Lincoln penny has long been one of the most iconic pieces in American coinage. Introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, it was the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. The design has remained largely unchanged on the obverse, with Victor David Brenner's timeless depiction of Lincoln, while the reverse design in 1976 still featured the stately Lincoln Memorial, crafted by Frank Gasparo. Together, these designs celebrate the American spirit and the legacy of one of the country's greatest leaders. Now let's take a closer look at the 1976 D. Lincoln penny itself. This coin was minted at the Denver Mint, which is indicated by the small d just below the year. It features a weight of 3.11 grams, a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.55 millimeters. Its composition during this time period is copper-plated zinc, though many early 1976 pennies may still contain a higher concentration of copper as the U.S. Mint was transitioning its materials. The coin's surface is often found in a red-brown color, a classic and desirable tone for collectors that indicates a good level of preservation and some remaining mint luster. Despite the high mintage of Lincoln cents in 1976, over $4 billion from the Denver Mint alone, only a small fraction of these coins have survived in truly exceptional condition. And among those few, even fewer possess the types of mint errors or special traits that dramatically increase their value. The rarity of these unique conditions is what elevates the 1976 D penny from a coin worth 1 cent to one potentially worth tens of thousands of dollars. One of the key factors that drives value in Lincoln cents is the presence of doubling errors, commonly known as doubled dies. These occur during the coin production process, when a die that strikes the coin is impressed multiple times out of alignment, causing parts of the design, like the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," or even the date, to appear doubled. These doubled images are highly sought after, especially when they are bold and visible without magnification. A 1976 D penny featuring a strong doubled die can be an incredible find, and its rarity significantly boosts its desirability in the collector market. Another valuable error to look out for is the re-punched mint mark, often referred to as RPM. In this scenario, the D mint mark has been punched more than once in slightly misaligned positions, creating a shadow-like appearance. During the 1970s, mint marks were still being manually added to coin dies, which makes re-punched mint marks more common in this era, but high-grade examples with strong RPMs are anything but ordinary and can sell for impressive premiums. That off-center strikes are also among the most intriguing minting errors. When a coin is struck off-center, part of the design is missing, and a blank area is left where the die failed to hit the blank planchet fully. This kind of dramatic error, especially when it still shows the date and mint mark clearly, is highly desirable and increases a coin's value significantly. Die cracks, die chips, and cuds, where parts of the coin have raised, unintentional lumps due to damage or defects in the die, also fall into the category of collectible mint errors that make 1976 D pennies more valuable. But minting errors aren't the only way a penny from this year can be worth a fortune. Condition is just as crucial. Coins that have been stored properly, kept out of circulation, and preserved in near-perfect condition are graded by professional services such as NGC or PCGS. High grades, especially mint state, MS 66 and above, are very rare for coins of this age and attract premium prices. These coins must have sharp detail, no wear, brilliant surfaces, and minimal imperfections. A 1976 D Lincoln penny in MS 67 or higher condition is considered a numismatic prize and is often the centerpiece of advanced Lincoln cent collections. In today's market, collectors are paying closer attention than ever to copper-based cents from the 1970s. With metal composition changes looming by the end of the decade and inflation on the rise during those years, these pennies represent a unique slice of American monetary history. Combined with mint errors and pristine condition, they have become a favorite target for coin hunters across the country. Just imagine finding a 1976 D penny in your change that appears slightly different. The color is richer. The details are crisper. Maybe you spot a subtle doubling in the text or notice the mint mark looks slightly off. That single penny, if verified by professional grading and found to be a rare variety in high mint state condition, could change your life in an instant. Such was the case for one extraordinary 1976 D Lincoln penny, graded exceptionally high, with an unusual error and near-perfect strike. The bidding war it created among collectors drove the final sale price to a number that few would expect for such a small, common-looking coin. That coin, a 1-cent piece originally made to buy a gumball or sit forgotten in a drawer, ended up selling for a jaw-dropping price of $90,000. Top 5. In the vast landscape of American coinage, Certain coins stand out not just because of their age or design, but because of their transitional significance, their mysterious origins, and the rare errors that make them worth a small fortune. One such coin, often underestimated and overlooked, is the 1982 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark. It may look like every other penny you've handled, but this particular version holds a fascinating story tied to one of the most important changes in U.S. minting history, a change that has turned select 1982 pennies into rare collector's prizes. And among them, one remarkable example has even sold for an incredible sum that will leave you speechless. To understand what makes the 1982 penny so special, we need to look back at the dramatic shift that occurred that very year. For decades, Lincoln cents had been struck using a mostly copper composition, a mixture of 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving the coin its familiar weight and tone. But in 1982, due to the rising cost of copper, the U.S. Mint made the crucial decision to change the composition of the penny. Instead of using mostly copper, the new cents would be produced with a zinc core and coated with a thin layer of copper. This reduced the cost of production significantly, but also created a chaotic moment in the mint's production history. As a result, multiple varieties of the 1982 penny were released that year. Different compositions, large dates, small dates, and a mix of mint marks. And that's where the story gets interesting. The 1982 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, struck in Philadelphia, is one of the coins at the center of this unique transitional moment. What makes it especially intriguing is that it exists in both copper and zinc versions, with small date and large date designs, and both can look almost identical to the naked eye. However, the differences in weight, size of numerals, and overall appearance hold the key to uncovering their value. The version we're focusing on here is the rare copper-based 1982 penny with no mint mark, weighing 3.11 grams, a detail that makes all the difference in identifying a rare and valuable coin. This penny is beautifully struck, measuring 19.05 millimeters in diameter, with a thickness of 1.55 millimeters, and it maintains the classic round shape familiar to all Americans. Its surface often appears in a rich red-brown tone, a sign that the coin has aged gracefully, retaining a degree of mint luster while acquiring a beautiful natural patina over the years. This color is highly sought after by collectors, especially when paired with strong detail and minimal signs of wear. But what truly transforms this coin from common change into a valuable collectible is the rarity of the copper alloy in certain 1982 varieties. As the mint transitioned from copper to zinc, some copper planchets were mistakenly or unexpectedly used for coins that should have been zinc-based. This mistake has led to the discovery of a few copper coins struck with small date dies, a combination that is extremely rare. In some cases, these rare transitional pieces remained unnoticed for years, circulating like normal until discovered by sharp-eyed collectors or weight-conscious coin roll hunters. Aside from composition, collectors also seek out 1982 pennies with dramatic mint errors. Double dies, especially on the date or inscriptions like "In God We Trust" or "Liberty," are highly valuable. These errors occur during the hubbing process when the design is impressed onto the die more than once and not perfectly aligned. The result is a shadowy or doubled appearance on certain parts of the design, immediately increasing the coin's worth. Some coins from this year also exhibit die cracks, cuts, off-center strikes, or repunched design elements. These anomalies, while unintentional, make the coin unique, and in the world of numismatics, uniqueness is gold. Even slight variations from standard minting, when authenticated and graded, can boost the coin's value significantly. Condition, of course, is another major factor. A well-worn 1982 penny, even in its rare copper form, may only fetch a few dollars. But one that is in pristine condition, no scratches, strong luster, no discoloration, can be worth thousands. Coins graded MS 66 or higher are rare from this era, and when paired with an uncommon composition or error, they command attention from serious collectors at auctions across the country. It's also worth noting that the absence of a mint mark on the coin does not make it automatically rare, but in combination with the copper composition and a small date design, it creates a very desirable combination. The only reliable way to verify such a coin is by weighing it on a sensitive gram scale, and comparing the design details under magnification. This level of investigation turns the hobby of coin collecting into a thrilling treasure hunt, and stories abound of people finding these rarities in inherited collections, old piggy banks, or even pocket change. Interest in the 1982 no-mint mark penny has grown dramatically over recent years. As more collectors educate themselves about transitional errors and composition changes, demand for authenticated copper small date examples has surged. Prices for these coins, once modest, have skyrocketed, and bidding wars are now common at major numismatic auctions. And now, we arrive at the most jaw-dropping part of this journey: the value that such a coin can reach. One of the rarest known examples of the 1982 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, struck on a copper planchet and preserved in exceptional condition, has shocked the collecting world with its sale price. That extraordinary coin, verified for its unique composition and variety, and professionally graded at a top-tier mint state level, sold for an astonishing amount: a final auction price of $75,000.